You know what sucks? What really, really, really sucks? Personal accountability. Isn't it the worst? And don't get me wrong, it's important. You want to be accountable for your actions. I need to be accountable for my actions. But isn't that the worst? I don't want to take responsibility for the bad things that happen to me. Well, for the good and bad things. I want to blame other people because I'm a human being and that's human nature. We don't like to look in the mirror and say, your fault. It hurts. But the truth is, that's where we need to look. When we're looking for someone to blame for most of our problems, we need to go find a mirror. I hear so much complaining, and I do so much complaining about the low-T GOP in this country. You can't stand them. I can't stand them. RINO this, and can you believe this sellout, and can you believe this traitor? But here's the truth. When it comes to things like the United States Senate, we have the 17th Amendment. What the 17th Amendment did was it made sure the people of the individual states would vote on their senator. It didn't used to be that way. The state legislatures would pick them. But now the people in any given state, they will go out and they will pick their senator. Now, I'm going somewhere with this. Just hang on. So you're mad about RINOs. I'm mad about RINOs. Understandably so. I just saw a poll from Morning Consult come out. No one else watched it. No one else read it. It was one of the most disheartening things I've ever seen. Do you know why? Because our reddest states, the states that are blood red, the states that could be sending Genghis Khan to Washington to fight on our behalf, our reddest states not only have the biggest sellout loser turds as senators, our biggest states have the biggest sellout loser turds as senators, and the people in those states love them for it. In the supposed red states. John Thune and Mike Rounds, they're both U.S. senators from the state of South Dakota. South Dakota is 60% Republican. It's just blood red, absolutely blood red. And so this blood red state has two RINO loser senators, and they love them. Here's John Thune from blood red South Dakota, God's country, hunting and fishing, taking away your gun rights.
In my state, they use them to shoot prairie dogs and, other types of varmints. And so I think that there are legitimate reasons why people would want to have them. And I think the challenge you have already is that there are literally millions of them available in this country.
Working with Democrats to reduce your gun rights. Of course, he had to make it sound good. Here's Mike Rounds saying he's pretty much not going to support the nominee in 2024.
Are you resigned to support whoever the Republicans nominate, even if it's the former president?
Well, right now I'm hoping it's going to be Tim Scott. And if it's not, then I'm going to have to reassess because I've always supported the Republican nominee in the past. I hope Tim is the nominee. There are going to be some other good people as well, but I'm going to hold that back until we find out how Tim does. I'm going to support Tim Scott.
I was just going to say that
I think he's got a good shot.
Blood red South Dakota. And let me burst your bubble on something else. Maybe you're sitting there saying this right now, and this is going to hurt. Sorry, look, the mirror hurts. This is going to hurt. Maybe you're sitting there saying, well, yeah, they cheat. No. Do Democrats cheat? Yes. Are they cheating in GOP primaries in red states like South Dakota? No, they're not. The voters go to the polls, and they vote for these people time and time again. John Thune just had a primary. He got 72% of the vote from blood red South Dakota voters. We want to blame the low-T GOP all the time. Maybe it's time to start blaming ourselves. Oklahoma, just north of me here in Texas, believe me, we have our loser in Texas too, John Cornyn. Oklahoma is another one of these states that's totally red. God's country. Can you imagine the senator we could have from Oklahoma? Instead, this is one of the senators from Oklahoma.
We are also seeing now efforts to rename military bases across the country. The Senate Armed Service Committee voted on that this week. We've seen leading voices like General David Petraeus saying it's time to stop having military bases named after Confederate generals like Braxton Bragg. Is it time?
I do, actually. I think the right way to be able to do this is to be able to have a study, to be able to look at where the name come from, what do we need to have to be able to take a serious look at it, and then to be able to transition. There are lots of great leaders, military leaders that are around the country that are modern leaders that we can continue to be able to honor.
There's the senator from the red state of Oklahoma helping the communists tear down your history. You see, we don't like to look in the mirror. We don't like personal accountability. And we like to do this on the right. I know I've done it. You're probably guilty of it. And I know I've done it. We look at the blue areas and we blame them. Oh, this is New York's fault. Oh, San Francisco, you suck. Oh, these libs are ruining the country. South Dakota can't elect one decent senator. Maybe it's time to look in the mirror for all of us, huh? You want to watch our special on George Washington? It's freaking awesome. Well, you can. All you have to do is become a First TV supporter. That gives you access to all of our specials on demand, and it's cake. All you have to go to is thefirsttv.com/support. Thefirsttv.com/support. Become a supporter. Enjoy learning about George Washington.